Welcome to the first day of our 18th year of the Hamptons Doc Fest. These are hard and true fans, I can tell. I'm Jackie LaFaro, Executive Director. Most of you know me, and I'm really happy to see you and see familiar faces. Tonight, you will enjoy a very special film that is receiving the Art and Inspiration Award. I won't tell you why now. You'll know by the last frame of the film, for sure. So, Jimmy and the Demons is a journey into the life of artist Jimmy Grashow, who for 6 decades crafted fantastical and irreverent woodcut and sculptures. His work was featured on countless publications, including Rolling Stone, Esquire, New York Times, and so much more. Presenting tonight's award to director Cindy Meehl is Kevin Mizrahi, director of the T. and Charles Adams Foundation, whose belief in the arts led to their belief in our festival. Kevin, please come up and do the honors.
Oh, I never get to take this home. So thank you all for coming. This is I don't know if this is 6 years or 7 years of sponsoring this particular award, but when Jackie notified me this was the winner and who was going to receive the award this year, I thought I was going to be giving it to some rock star. So I went online and looked up Jimmy and the Demons. I thought it was a band. And then I found out, I'm very surprised, very happily, that it actually was this wonderful film. So you may as well just tear the 5 on your little cards now. You don't even have to question this whatsoever. It's a wonderful film. Unfortunately, he passed on in October, and I'm sorry that he's not here to receive our applause and thanks for what he has produced. I won't tell you anything more about it. You have to be surprised, as I was, thinking that I was watching a rock star perform, but he actually did do some record album covers, so I wasn't that far off. Anyway, Cindy, where are you? Are you out here? I would love to give you this in person. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
You are
thoroughly
a rock
enjoyed
star.
this. No,
Yes,
you are.
you are. We love
Thank you.
people that support the arts, and you sound like you really are a rock star in that regard.
Yeah, we all are. But thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Say a few
And
words and then we'll
yeah,
let
we're
everyone see this.
extremely honored to get this award. No one is more inspiring to me than Jimmy Grashow, and spending the 3 years that we got to spend with him was remarkable. And I think everybody that sees this film is so jealous of me after they see it. So just see it, enjoy it, and thank you so much for this award. Jimmy is smiling.
Cindy Meehl, the director.
Thank you.
Guzzy Grashaw. Lovely. I've seen it 3 times now,
Wow.
and I still cry.
I've seen it a lot more, and I still cry.
And I cry all the time.
Before we start, I wanted to, there's a bunch of people here. Elizabeth Westgate, the producer, is over there. Scott, their son, is here. Did I get the name right?
Zach.
Sorry. Toby Shimon, the editor. Woo-hoo. One of the great documentary film editors, and I gave her her first job.
There's also Jen Wastrom, our associate producer over here. We have a rockin' team.
Yeah, so welcome, and thank you all for staying. What a lovely film. How did it happen?
Whoa, that's a long story. I knew Jimmy and Guzzy as friends, and we hung out, and I would stop in the studio all the time and take a look at what he was working on. I love art, and I saw him working on this piece, which just seemed so different than what he had been doing, and he would just make things, like they would just appear in his hand. It was really unusual. And I was going to do just a little short piece on it. And I came in and filmed for 2 days and was so smitten. I was telling somebody earlier, it's like what you see is what you get. Like, it's rare to put a camera on somebody and they really are the same person. You know, there's just, they don't skip a beat. They don't ever play to the camera. And I talked to Toby. I was like, look at this footage. I think this is the film. And she was like, yes, it is. I'll cut it. So it was fantastic.
You know, one of the very interesting things about this film for me is that if you just look at the work before this work, it's pure joy. And in high-end art circles, that's often not okay. You have to come from angst. It's got to be all angst. Alexander Calder was roundly criticized for coming from joy. And here we learn there's a lot of angst in there.
There is. It's absolutely true. You know, to the world, Jimmy looked like this happy person because he says I robbed him of his misery. But there was that dark well. And sometimes he would just go down that well and say, you know, I'm like, and I'd be pleading with him, trying to pull him back. And he'd say, I can't come back. I'm down there and I can't come back, Guzzy. I'm really sorry. It's going to take me days. And so there was this angst, there was this darkness that I think some people are born with.
Yeah. But he got to see the film. He went to a number of festivals and
No, he didn't. He did. He went to
He went to Tribeca.
He did. He was at Tribeca. Yeah.
he went to
And
Tribeca.
at Cape Cod, Woods Hole, he did it from his hospital room. Yeah. And he really wanted, he wanted to be at every festival. He wanted to be here tonight. So it's very bittersweet. But we're so happy he saw the film. He was happy with the film. And you know, talking about his dark side, there's never been a person that I've ever known that would build people up so much. Like, it doesn't matter who walked in that door. They felt like his best friend. He made people feel so special and so great. And at his memorial service, that was what was almost funny, because people would get up and start to say, you know, I thought I was his best friend, because he would just call you up to tell you how much he loved you. Just these quick, you know, you don't have to call me back, but you're fantastic. You're so great. And it's such a life lesson that somebody that suffered with his own demons was so uplifting for so many people. I mean, everybody. It didn't matter who crossed his path. They came out a better person.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, add on to what Cindy is saying, that he loved to make people feel good. And, you know, that little story about the clapper and the bell, you know, that really helped shape his life, you know, because that teacher shot him down. And he had such a deep well of insecurity, and he wanted to build people up. And there's Amy Zerner is here tonight. There's Amy, and she was his student at Pratt how many years ago? You don't have to say if you don't want to. But, you know, I'm sure she would confirm. He wanted to bring out the best in people.
Yeah. I love the process that you did. I loved seeing what his process was of doing the drawings and pulling things out. It's really a cinema verite film. You're there, you're watching, you're an observer. Did you say, oh, now can we pull this out? Now can we do this? Or was it just his revealing everything for you?
You mean, did we tell him what to be doing?
Not what to be doing, but were you just a silent observer, or were you asking, I'd love to see this or that?
Well, basically, we were filming the journey of this particular piece. I mean, what happened at the end was surprising to all of us, with the retrospective and stuff. It was really, they were just going to show this one piece. And it was fascinating I would sit there, and while he was working, I would ask him questions sometimes, just throw questions to him. But basically, we really were trying not to. Yeah, and every answer, there's another 200 hours that you won't see that were amazing. I wish we could have made a series. But no, he would just work, and he would then just talk. Like you would just throw him a question, then he could go off. But we didn't want to really interrupt this process, because it really was, he was very driven to make the cathedral. And he was doing little side projects occasionally, but what else was he doing? He was still.
I think he finished a couple of house plants during that time. He did other things, because he would work on multiple projects at the same time. But the overall thing was, as you could tell from there, he just loved to work. It was his driving force.
Yeah. The flow of the film was so natural. It seemed like everything just fit together easy. And I don't think most people, and there's no reason you should know how difficult and complicated the editing process is. That's where a film gets made. A good film can be great or ruined in the editing. And it just seemed like, yeah, of course you go from there to there to there. How long did that take?
Toby, do you want to answer that? What was it, a year maybe?
It was about 11 months, yeah.
And were you editing the whole time?
Yes. We took a couple of pauses, but it was 11 months.
Yeah. And often in editing, you're saying, oh, what's not working? Well, if we just put this there, everything starts to fall into place. I thank you so much for coming. I thank you for coming, Guzzy.
Thank
you.
Thank
we
you all.
loved having you.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Fill out your
Thank
form.
you, Roger.